Francis. Good morning. Okay, today is Thursday here at Washington Family Church. Let's begin our Hoon Dok. I'll bring one standing bow for our two parents. And walk, jump over the man, Zagery Oliver, Aro, most beloved heavenly parents, we pray today, Thursday, July the 10th, 2014, at Washington Family Church. We pray for the victory of our two parents, always with our true mother here on earth, our true Father in heaven. And we pray as well for true children, true grandchildren, and all our leaders in the world mission headquarters in Chungkyung, Korea, with our elder sister Sanjinin and her husband Insuknin. And they will always be happy to direct many of our brothers and sisters to many of the world's national headquarters and places where missionaries and our Korean brothers and sisters can lay the foundation of our true parents and also keep up the momentum of increasingly getting more members as they teach Korean, the divine principle, and the emissaries of our true parents. And we pray as well for all the staff and the group of the UPF that is based also in the World Mission Headquarters. We pray for the UPF chairman, Dr. Chang Chik-yang, and his staff, and international vice president like Reverend Thomas Wong. And we pray as well for all the continental leaders, and we pray for Archbishop Leon Kim, who is also very excited to meet us this coming weekend, as he is already placing the Holy Ground Tour in his timeline and even in Facebook. And we pray for his success always, and we pray again for all the national leaders and the staff in each of the world's countries in their national headquarters. We pray for the United States of America, with our president of the FFWCU. We pray for Reverend Dr. Michael Malcolm and his family and his staff, and we pray that we can meet him this coming Saturday here in this church, and we pray for his safety always and his success. And we pray as well for all the regional leaders and district leaders, especially here in District 1. In the United States, we pray for Reverend Ernest and Keiko Paco, that they will always reach the goal. And we pray as well for all the pastors and center leaders all over the world, especially here in the Mid-Atlantic area. We pray for Reverend James Stewart of Houston, Maryland, Reverend Zagery Oliver of Norfolk, Virginia, and Father Adrian Bible from the Richmond area, and here in the Beltway we pray for Miss Lejeune and the congregation there in Northern Virginia, and in Maryland, Reverend Stevens and his wife and co-pastors like Bishop Jones, and here in Washington, D.C. we pray for the ACLC chairman, Archbishop Augustus Collins, and here in the Washington Family Church we pray for Pastor Reverend Zagery Oliver, wife Fumi, son and daughter Brianna. We pray that we can always reach our goal, we even surpass it, and bring more people in this 48-day local condition. We pray that we can always keep the momentum of gaining and inviting guests every week. And we pray that this Saturday and Sunday we can bring in more than we can handle. And we pray that we can teach them all they need to know about your will and the word given to parents. And we pray all of this in all my name and in my name, after National Francis, Catalan, blessed family, Jew, Jew, Jew. Good morning. We're continuing the reading now on the world scriptures and teachings of San Myung Moon, and we read all about sin already, and we now read about a new topic: inherited sin and karma. Religions often explain differences in people's fortunes and native endowment as the consequence of an inheritance from the past. It is conceived in two ways, either as karma from past lives or as the sins of the fathers visited on their descendants. These doctrines encourage people to accept their lot in life and suffer it patiently in order to expiate past deeds and earn merit for the benefit of future generations. Karma means action, specifically one's own actions committed either in this life or in past lives. In Hinduism and Buddhism, religions that hold to a belief in reincarnation, it is taught that people are bound to reap the fruit of their actions in another lifetime. However, these religions part company over whether a person's situation is fated by karma. For Hinduism, indeed, it is. Karma determines one's present circumstances, hence inequalities of wealth, race, gender, or caste are only apparent. In fact, the universe is absolutely just and fair. Buddhism, on the other hand, denies that karma is a deterministic principle, but one of the 24 factors, pakaya, that condition a person's life. Karma need not be actualized when other conditions are fulfilled. Through spiritual discipline and meditative practice, a Buddhist aspirant seeks to attain liberation and be released from the bonds of karma. Most other religions in both the East and the West recognize sin to be inherited through the lineage. An individual is burdened by the sins of his or her ancestors, who also bequeath their traditions, attitudes, and personality traits, not to mention physical traits. Their lives leave an impression that can endure through the centuries, coloring the experiences of many generations to come. A wise person, therefore, seeks to resolve these inherited problems so they will not plague his offspring. He would rather leave merit to his children's benefit. Father Moon teaches many insights about inherited sin, how it comes to pass, and how it can be resolved. Okay, number 1, the legacy of past deeds. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the 3rd and 4th generation of those who hate me, but showing steadfast love to the 1,000th generation of those who love me and keep my commandments. And this is from Exodus 20 verses 5 to 6. Loose us from the yoke of the sins of our fathers, and also of those which we ourselves have committed. This is from Rig Veda 7.86.5 from Hinduism. If at death there remains guilt unpunished, judgment extends to the posterity. When parties from wrong and violence take the money of others, an account is taken and set against its amount, of their wives and children and all the members of their families. When these gradually die, if they do not die, there are disasters from water, fire, thieves, and robbers, from the losses of property, illness, and evil tongues, to balance the value of their wicked appropriations. This is from Treatise on Response and Retribution 4 to 5 from Taoism. You who are so powerful as to enter inside the small medicine gourd to shelter yourself from danger, have you forgotten your children? Have you forgotten your wife? The evil seed a man sows shall be reaped by his offspring. Cruelty is never without repayment. However late it is, the repayment will come when it will. Yoruba song, African traditional religion. In this world, the fate of every posterity is similar to that of its ancestor. Neither death leaves off the work of destruction, nor the survivors give up their sinful activities. Human beings follow in each other's footsteps, group after group, and nations after nations, and their days without mending their ways. This is from Najul Balagha, Sermon 86 from the Shiite Islam. Happy are the righteous, not only do they acquire merit, but they bestow merit upon their children and children's children to the end of all generations. For Aaron had several sons who deserved to be burned like Nadab and Abihu, but the merit of their father helped them. Woe unto the wicked, not alone that they render themselves guilty, but they bestow guilt upon their children and children's children unto the end of all generations. Many sons did Canaan have who were worthy to be ordained, like Tabi, the slave of Rabbi Gamaliel, but the guilt of their ancestor caused them to lose their chance. And this is from Talmud Yoma 87a, Judaism. Subha, the son of Tudea, asked the Exalted One, what is the cause and what is the reason, O Gautama, for which among men and the beings who have been born as men there is found to be lowness and excellence? For some people are of short lifespan and some of long lifespan. Some suffer from many illnesses and some are free from illness. Some are ugly and some are beautiful. Some of a little account and some have great power. Some are poor and some are wealthy. Some are born into lowly families and others into high families. Some are devoid of intelligence and some possesses great wisdom. What is the cause? What is the reason for which among men and the beings who had been born as men there is to be found lowness and excellence? Men have, O young man, deeds as their very own. They are inheritors of deeds. Deeds are their matrix. Deeds are their kith and kin, and deeds are their support. It is deeds that classify men into high or low status. Here, O young man, some woman or man is a taker of life, fierce with hands stained by blood, engaged in killing and beating without mercy for living creatures. As a result of deeds thus accomplished, thus undertaken, he is reborn on the breakup of the body, after death, into a state of woe, of ill plight, of purgatory or hell. Or if he comes to be born as a man, whenever he may be reborn, he is of a short lifespan. This course, that he is a taker of life, fierce with hands stained by blood, engaged in killing and beating without mercy for living creatures, leads to shortness of life. Here, on the other hand, O young man, some woman or man gives up killing, totally refraining from taking life. This course leads to longevity. Here some woman or man is by nature a tormentor of living creatures. As a result of the deeds thus accomplished, whenever he is reborn, he suffers much from sickness. But here some woman or man is not by nature a tormentor of living beings. Wherever he may be reborn, he is free from sickness. Here some woman or man is wrathful. Wherever he is reborn, he is ugly. But here some woman or man is not wrathful. Wherever he may be reborn, he is handsome. Here some woman or man is jealous-minded. Whenever he is born, he is of little account. But here some woman or man is not jealous-minded. Wherever he may be reborn, he has great power. Here some woman or man is not a giver to ascetic or Brahmin. Wherever he is born, he is poor. Here some man or woman is a giver. Wherever he may be reborn, he is wealthy. Thus, men have, O young man, deeds are as their very own. They are inheritors of their deeds. Their deeds are their kith and kin, and their deeds their support. It is their deeds that classify men into this low or high status. This from Majjhima Nikaya 3202.206 Buddhism. And there's one more paragraph here from another religion. The reactive mind is a portion of a person's mind which works on a totally stimulus-response basis, which is not under his volitional control, and which exerts force and power of command over his awareness, purposes, thoughts, body, and actions. Stored in the reactive mind are engrams. Here we find the single source of aberration and psychosomatic ills. This is from L. Ron Hubbard, Scientology, 0 to 8. Again, this is from Scientology. So, we're now on page 273. That ends our Hoon Dok. It's 5:34 now. We will be reading about true parents, explanation about the first subtopic, the legacy of past deeds. And is there anyone who wants to share about the reading today? Anyone?
Good morning.
Good morning, Eva-san. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think I was waiting for the conversation. Thank you. So, I was really impressed by this so, understand, first to know about, it's so interesting when you start, well, why some people, have a long life, why some people have a short life.
Yes,
some people are rich, some people are poor. I think we have many times questions like this too,
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting when he talks about somebody that takers of life. At first I didn't understand what it means, like somebody a takers of life, like they take others' life, right? Like somebody that have no regard for, regard for the value of life.
Mm-hmm.
And, then it goes on saying, well, those people have really a short life, then it says, um,
Mm-hmm.
it's the deeds that determine, your, I think the outcome,
Mm-hmm.
and, yeah, yeah, we talked about living and there was one more thing, the secret, it says, those who torment other creatures, then they have systems,
Mm-hmm.
and those who are like very cold, the depression also, that, jealous mind,
Yeah, that was.
I thought this was something to think about,
Mm-hmm.
because like this here, these things are being passed down to something doesn't explain it in the one generation when it comes to the next. Or somebody says, if you really, you're taking and you don't give, people who are generous, they have, they're very rich, and you're not, and you always give, so I think it's really, I've never, thought about like this. What do you think, it is, it has something to do with what you're saying,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, this is, I'm really the law of experience,
Mm-hmm.
saying, something to think about, myself, what is it am I really doing, something to take something to take me later on, maybe my children too, like, thank you so much, yeah.
Yes, you're welcome, Sister Eva. So I think more
Nice
will
to
be.
hear your voice.
Yes.
Hey, thank you.
Yes, also Reverend Esther, you have something to share about the legacy of past deeds. So we're discussing right now inherited sin and karma. So cause and effect, or because of past deeds of our ancestors, who are we are affected. Anybody else? So even the yes. Good morning, Reverend Oliver.
So I just wanted to say that the way the world run over the centuries, always it seems that these evil deeds are always getting away with something. But they're not.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we might not see with our own eyes. But the book says the generation coming
Mm-hmm.
will see it, And so it is true, it makes us think. Also in the spiritual realm, I think we're getting away. The physical body has the uncanny ability to help us hide our sins, our deeds, our thinking, our attitude.
Yes, thank you, Reverend Oliver. So, for me, it's very significant about, our reading today, inherited sin and karma, about even the ancestral liberation and their blessing. So before Foundation Day, in our movement, before Foundation Day, we were encouraged to liberate at least 210 generations of our ancestors and also bless them. So we read here today that even in the Bible, in Exodus, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generation of those who hate me. So he monitors all these people who hate him, but he gives, but showing steadfast love to the 1,000 generation of those who love me and keep my commandments. So he gives love to all these, people, or the fathers and their descendants, to the 1,000 generations for those who follow his commandment. So if that's 1,000 generation, that's until if we look back 1,000 generations from now, it's even before Adam and Eve was on the adoption stage. It's in the beginning of humanity, and that's how the effect of the the decisions of our ancestors. If they hate God, or hate everybody, or they love everybody. And we will be reading soon about the teachings of our Father tomorrow. It will be pretty clear why we have all these circumstances. But for us, we're so fortunate to know about this, that we can liberate our ancestors. And even the people who built this building here, the Mormons, guided by the angel Moroni, they are trying to liberate their ancestors by baptizing them, by looking physically at their genealogy, their ancestry, to as much as how many generations in the past, as much as they can, maybe 100 generations or more. So they try to get all these baptismal certificates and correlate all this data, and it's in the vault in Utah, that anyone who wants to find out who their ancestors are, it is there. And one thing can lead to another. You can go back to as much as not only 5 or 10 generations in the past, but even more. So from our movement, our guide, and of course the mother of our true mother herself, is using DNA to even check our ancestors back to the 210 generations. As they look more in the past, the more, of course, as we have read today, the more uglier they become. And of course, until even the time of Adam and on the adoption stage 6,000 years ago and beyond that, the more the distorted and more primitive they become. But they are our ancestors, and we should liberate them. And every actions that we have right now, and everything that we do will also affect them, because they're the ones pushing us to a certain kind of direction. And as we read today from the founder of Scientology, it exerts a force and a power of command over our awareness, our purposes, our thoughts, bodies, and actions. So if we have a tendency to even overeat, if we can control it always, we can liberate these ancestors who are always hungry. Because in one of Father's speeches, those who are, so big today, they are compensating for their ancestors who were always hungry before. So that's why we have, so in my mother's, side, they're all big, maybe because their ancestors are always hungry. They compensated for. So if we can control this one and liberate them, offer penance, tithes, donations, and restore many people back to to True Parents' bosom and presence, we will liberate them. And we have even a logical and scientific way to liberate them. We offer not only papers or like symbols. We offer before the things also that represent all things, like money that we have from whatever country you have, and offer this for a good cause, especially in our movement, which we can see that benefits a lot of people, because we revive their spirit, inspire many people, and of course you can see the fruits of True Parents' mission all over the world. People are being transformed, not only to be bad examples, but good examples to their clan and to the society as peaceful and loving global citizens. So anybody else who wants to share? Maybe Reverend Esra? Okay. Anybody else who wants to share? So let's all rise and have unison prayer. Our most beloved Heavenly Parents, we're so thankful for these words from other religions and from even the angels and even God of the Old Testament. We pray that, as we all know, that before True Parents there were angels that really guided many of our ancestors and even the people of the book, the Israelites, and brought them to the promised land of Canaan, and also disciplined them for 40 years because they almost broke the covenant. We pray, our Heavenly Parents, that we can always keep our purity and the blessing, and we pray that our second, the third, the fourth, the sixth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh generation from now would be sinless, as you have given us the hope that even the stain of the blood lineage from the dark side can be cleansed here on this earth through the succeeding generations. We pray that we can always also pray for the liberation of our ancestors, 210 generations or more for the past, and even bless them and bring them to the blessing as we offer many penances and even monetary donations and tithes and many conditions, just like right now, our Heavenly Parents. We're so thankful to even wake up today and give this opportunity to stand here in your presence. I'm so sorry that we can connect with you right away as we pray with our ancestors, whoever they are, for good or bad, that we pray that they will be liberated by our prayers, our devotions, our jungsung, and these conditions. We pray for the good spiritual world, our absolute good ancestors already would always guide us also to overcome many things that they did not overcome even in their lifetime. We pray that we can even bring about our plan and bring them to your presence in this lifetime. We pray that even as you encourage us to bring our nation back to your presence, and even the whole world back to your presence. And it starts here in this Washington Family Church, which is beaming the symbolic unification seal for uniting all people and races and creeds and religions in one body under God and in one world under God. And we pray that we can be successful in our lifetime, that two mothers are still here and the true children. And we pray for each other's success. And we pray all of this in all our needs and in my name. Athanasius Francis, seeketh of our blessing of family. Aju, Aju, Aju. Uri esonen Tongil, Numero sonen Tongil, Imoxum bacio Sotongil, Tongil io
Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, good morning, Reverend Oliver, Ever-san, and everybody. Yoko-san.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Have a great and wonderful Thursday.
Yes.
Yan, low bat pwede.